Yeah, it's like it's going to work. Like Metro is quick and it works, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like most people use, but consumer law is just like done and done. You know what I mean? Like they can't do anything about it.
You always pull up with some drama. I just wanna talk about some dollars. Why you always hit me with a problem? That's a problem. I can't deal with all that, yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Riches from Resources podcast. My name is Dominic Mastrocinque.
And I'm Tealianna Spinelli, and we have another very special guest with us today, Sam Adams. Go ahead and introduce yourself, tell the listeners who you are, and we'll just go on from there.
What's going on, guys? I appreciate you for having me on. Yeah, guys, Sam Adams here. Currently reside out here in Indianapolis in Miami. Yeah, a little bit about myself. I mean, keeping it short and sweet. I own two companies. One operation is credit restoration. The other is helping generate passive income for all my clients. Currently 24, and you know, all I'm looking to do here is just make a change and live life to the fullest. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Perfect, man.
That's
Yeah.
the goal.
Always trying to, always trying to look out for people, put people on game, man. I mean, I feel like that's why you have that type of success, because you're looking to also put other people in position, not just yourself. So, I mean, that's really what puts people onto that next tier level. A lot of people don't do that, and that's why most people don't last, But so we basically got a couple, we got more than a couple questions for you. Obviously going to throw them out there, answer it to the best of your ability, man. Obviously not going to put anybody on blast or anything like that. But just obviously, kind of get to know a little bit you, your journey, things that you've kind of like overcome, what you do, etc. So we're going to kind of knock it down. So the first question, man, is at what point in your life did you realize that you were meant for more? Like what time in your life where you were like, you know what? Like this 9 to 5 thing, or this working the job or whatever it might be, like this isn't for me. I'm meant for something bigger and better.
Yeah, 100%. This is actually something I reflected on. I've actually done a lot of reflection on it over the past couple years, and what I've told people before is I'm actually super grateful, almost lucky in a sense that I had that realization early on. Like honestly at the start of my entrepreneurial journey. So essentially, this was early 2019. So actually late 2018, early 2019. So I graduated high school 2017. I did my freshman year of college at University of Indianapolis out here in Indiana, and I think it was like really second semester of that year that I started to find different people on Instagram. I started seeing guys on Instagram doing e-commerce drop shipping. And I think 2018, that was like at the height of like Shopify. That's when like stores were crushing it, before Amazon like became a $1 trillion company and like really took all those stores over. And I didn't take action on it that freshman year of college, but like I was seeing it, you know what I mean? And that's like, for people like us, I feel like that's all it takes initially. If like we're meant for something, we just have to see it to have that belief. You know what I mean? So I wanted to go to a better college. Actually, it was a good school, but I wanted something different. However, the college I wanted to go to, I was a late transfer, so they didn't let me in. So I ended up going to a community college, IB Tech, out here in Indy, and it was a joke. Not the college itself, but like me being there, I'm not hating on anybody that goes to Ivy Tech. It's still like a college, all the curriculum and whatnot. But like for me, it was a joke. Like it felt like high school. So I personally didn't take it serious, which obviously it's school, so you know how that goes. So long story short, I got a puppy and I started living life as an adult, and just like those little things in life. I got a car, I got a puppy. And school just slowly faded out, and I literally transitioned into finding one of those e-commerce dropshipping guys, and I bought his course. It was honestly a really fire course, and you guys know how courses are. It's like those are hit or miss, especially now. You know what I mean? So I was so grateful that, yeah, it can be tough. So I was super grateful that I got a pretty inexpensive course. I think I spent a few $100 on it, and it really was step for step how to create e-commerce dropshipping stores through Spotify and run Google ads. So to answer your question in full, it was around that time that like I actually made my first sale, And seeing the notification from Shopify, seeing that sale come through, I think I only made like $250. But I mean, we hear it all the time. And I know like people like us have gotten to that ideology and that belief where it's like, if you can make $250, you can make, $250 million. You know what I mean? And even though my mindset hadn't stretched that far yet, I at least knew that when I'm serving tables, $250 is a good night. Like, that's a really good night serving tables. And I just made $250 profit off selling a product online that I never saw or touched in my life. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was definitely around that time where I was like, yo, if I go hard enough, then I can live life, how I want to live and not have to worry about a job. You know what I mean? I'm also kind of a control freak, and I don't appreciate, like people giving me like, orders and shit. So, that was the thing as well. I feel like I have to be my own boss,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I gotta get up at when? I have to get I'm tired. I'm hungover. I don't want to go out. I mean, dude, like that's kind of crazy because so many people will, like, college, when people go to that or whatever you want to call it, whether it's college or tech school or whatever, that's usually where like you become who you are. Like you're either gonna become an employee or you're gonna become an entrepreneur. Like high school is high school. I mean, you worried about being cool and popular and like when you're in college, you don't care about that anymore. It's like, cause you got rent, so it's like I don't care. Like I can't afford to go out, so like I don't care if you don't think I'm cool. Like I gotta pay the bills. I gotta eat. But in high school, middle school, you're just worried about like, yo, are my shoes up to date? Did I wear this shirt more than once this week? I can't wear the same shirt. I feel, man, it's real. And anyone who says
dude,
true, it's true.
I feel like that's why a lot of people stop messing with me. Like I feel like that's why, there was a natural cutoff in a lot of people that were close to me, because when they saw me like drop out of college, it was like culture shock. Because think of it, this is before COVID. So I feel like after COVID, it's like hella people started dropping out. You know what I mean? And like entrepreneurship, especially digital entrepreneurship, became like, socially acceptable without having to get hated on, by a ton of people. You know what I mean? So, but I dropped out before that happened. And so, people looked at me like I was crazy, like I was dumb, like I wasn't going to do shit. Like, like close people, even like, part of my family, I feel like that's where, not my immediate family, but extended aunts, uncles, I feel like that's where a disconnect initially happened, because one, they're all teachers, you know what I mean? So imagine that. Of course, I have a family full of teachers, and of course, God's like, yeah, I'm going to make you an entrepreneur. Like, word, of course. But it happened, and so, yeah, I feel like looking back, that's why, I had to have that disconnect from so many people, because they were just like, they didn't understand, you know what I mean? Entrepreneur, especially at our age, like, which at the time I was like 20 years old, 21. They were like, you're crazy. You don't know shit about shit. I'm like, I know, but like, I'm going to try. Like, it's like, in my mind, I was like, at least it's worth it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's crazy. Cause like, I kind of had like the opposite. Like my family's like immigrants. So like I was supposed to be like the first college graduate to hold up the diploma, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And I was like, sorry guys, it's not. I was like, maybe it's not gonna happen. Like, it's not, even if I go, I don't even think I'll make the 4 years. Like, I don't want to waste your money or my money, but it's like, they don't understand, they don't, and it's not even their fault. You don't know what you don't know, because if you think our wiring was bad, it was even worse for people who were born in the 50s and the 60s, because they got people who were born in the 20s and the 30s raising them, and the 40s raising them, where it's like, yo, just be happy to have a job, it's just, I mean, now you see like 15-year-olds making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
On social media.
It's completely different.
At 15, I was like playing like Call of Duty,
throwing sticks at people and whatnot.
Yeah, like there's these kids now making all this money, and it's just like, it's the new generation, now it's like, you don't go outside, you sit inside, you make money. Like, you make money on your phone.
Yeah. I think we've just evolved. Like, I think there's just been enough people that were at like our parents' age. So like, picture like the average age of our parents right now. Most of them are stuck with our grandparents' ideologies, just like their parents before them and their parents before them. But I think with like us being right now in 2023, halfway through the year, and then the past couple years after COVID, I think honestly that there were enough people that were our parents' age that adapted to the times, especially with being able to make money online. And that's why we see 15-year-olds like, dude, I've heard of 5-year-olds that have YouTubes, and all they do are what is it, Twitch, and they just live stream them playing video games, and their net worth is like $3 million. And I'm like, bro, you don't even know how to write your own name yet. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy, but I think that's what it is, and that's why, again, another reason I'm grateful that, you know, with how young we are, we caught on, you know, and we weren't naive to the fact, and we never cared what anybody else had to say. You know what I mean? Before all this started becoming a thing, you know?
I think it was really that 90s and early 2000s kids that when we kind of broke through that and started making the money online, now it's like people are like, well, look, I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like, come on, man.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy because my mom, like, when I was growing up, my mom was always like, go to college, get a job. Like, she was like, that's what you need to do. And it's funny now, like, when I got into entrepreneurship, she was very supportive, but she was also kind of like hesitant about it. And now it's like me and her do business together. Like,
Yeah.
anything you do, like, I want to do. And it's crazy because, like, we can actually teach, like, our parents and in the older generations, like, look, there's a new way, you just have to be open to it.
Yeah, truly, and that's actually so dope that you said that, because I haven't talked about this openly yet. Not in any type of bad way. It's just it's new. But me and my dad, you know, have really started doing business together on more of an official capacity. You know what I mean? So like he recently left a life insurance agency that he's been with for years that he's made great money at. And he finally stepped away and has created his own agency, the Glenn Adams Agency, where, you know, he can sell to anybody, you know, no matter who you are, whereas before he was restricted to only selling to Catholic men. Like, that's the only people he could sell to. Yeah, because it was a Catholic organization. So he had, yes. So
I was like, that's specific.
yeah, he could only sell to Catholic men. So he would have people reach out to him all the time, and he missed out on so much business just because he was restricted in that regards. So he started his own company. But now, honestly, with my operation, with, you know, how I operate with the trading software and credit and funding options for all my clients, we essentially just ping pong back and forth. He sends me tons of clients, and then I have people like, we need to get you set up with life insurance policies, AUs, you know, things you can liquidate, you know, in 2-3 years you can put into a trading software or real estate, etc. And that's just such a good feeling, you know what I mean? Because my parents were the same way. They were like always supportive, but they were so hesitant. But when I first told them I was leaving college, you know, it gave them comfort because I put down like a game plan in front of them, which, you know, at the time seemed really great, but looking back at it, my game plan was drop shipping and IM Academy. So, you know, this, which I'm not saying is bad. Like,
It worked.
we did really well there.
Yeah, it was the start. Like we talked about it on multiple podcasts that, like, network marketing is like the vehicle at first for entrepreneurship. Like, if you have never done anything entrepreneurship wise, like nothing, network marketing is like the perfect go-to at first. It's not the finish line though. That's the thing. It's just a vehicle.
Yeah, I think, like, I mean, we all know this, but yeah, yes, network marketing, but the people you get plugged in with have to be there. Like, I remember in my 3 years, 3 years in network marketing, it's like I came across so many people who, like, would come join my organization after they'd already left, whether it was another company or another organization, simply because, you know, they got plugged in and were just left for dust. You know what I mean? But, like, I'm grateful that no matter what, like, the people that we were plugged in with were, you know, they were onto something. You know, they were doing personal development. They were teaching us sales, marketing, you know, how to do public speaking, communication, all that good stuff, you know? So I definitely wouldn't be like where I'm at today as far as operating my own companies if I didn't have that 3 years of experience with network marketing. I never hate on the industry. Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I absolutely love it, you know, and I would same like you just said, I would refer anybody over there if they didn't have any type of coaching or mentoring or any type of business experience already, you know what I mean? Especially sales.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it also like widens your mind into being able to invest into yourself because that's I mean, I think we all can agree that's like the number one thing when you're getting into entrepreneurship or business is like you really need to learn how to invest into yourself. So many people are scared to do that because whatever they might have been screwed over in the past, but like investing into yourself, that's the number one thing. Like I think I don't even know how much
A
just
lot.
in a year,
A lot.
like in just
Yeah.
to ourselves, like
Yeah, network marketing, like I feel like if you can stick it through, makes you a real deal badass. Like it gives you like that thick skin because, you know, bro,
You've
people
been
would
through it. You've been
we
through
went
it.
through it. Like people would say the most reckless things to me and about my family, and just like, why you bringing my little brother into this? He's 10. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I think that like if you can, withstand those times and push through and still see any type of level of success, and then get out of it, and then do things like this where you start your own company, etc. Like that makes you a real deal badass. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't get to that point. But if they can, like, dang, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you got some thick skin, which is obviously, you need that in the business world because the business world is wild. Like,
yeah,
yeah, like
it's
in
a lot
all,
than network marketing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
for
it's
sure.
it's it's a lot because ain't nobody to be like, yo, I'll do a call for your business. No, you gotta do it. Ain't no three ways, no
Yeah,
nothing. But I mean, like it is what it is. If it's gonna be your business, you handle the problems.
yeah,
yeah, no, truly, I'm grateful for the times, that's for sure. I wouldn't change it for the world, because now it's like we got through all that BS that, I feel like gave me the strength that I have now. And so anytime I come across any type of, issues, whether prospectively big or small in my own companies now, if it's bad enough where I have to like take a minute and sit back and reflect on the situation, in those times I always think back to the BS I've already been through, in the last 3 years when it comes to entrepreneurship. And I'm like, dude, Sam, sit the fuck up and go, bro. Like you're good. You know what I mean? Like you're good. Let's get busy. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful for the times for sure.
absolutely. I feel like we kind of answered a couple of our questions just in that conversation, so we may not have a bunch more questions, but that was great. So the next question, so you're obviously in the same industry as us, credit, consumer law, all of that. What really drew you towards consumer law in specific? Because not a lot of people understand what that is, and if you could elaborate on it, that'd be great. Because I know a lot of people really don't understand their rights, and I feel like we've had conversations, all of us, about it, and it's so mind blowing. So, what really drew you towards it?
Yeah, so cool. So yeah, consumer law obviously is what protects the average person from the big banks, the corporations, bureaus, etc. And you're right. I mean, such a small percentage of people, like I'll do for example 20 calls a week just over, different US codes that you can go out there and find where there's some type of, reimbursement, etc. because of wrongdoings, right? And out of those 20 people, like I swear, over half of them have never even heard consumer law. Like I'll say consumer law, oh, what's that? And that's what is really crazy to me, but at the same time, just like credit, just like, for trading forex, just like e-commerce, it's just those things that are super important that can really get you to a much higher place in life, especially financially, that we're never taught. You know what I mean? So I think what really drew me in is obviously learning the credit game, the ins and outs with credit profiles, aging, credit restoration, etc. And then realizing that especially with credit restoration, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Obviously, that you guys know. There's wrong and unlawful ways to do it, right? And then there are very simple ways to do it with, dispute letters that are very generic that don't have a high chance of working, right? And then there's, consumer law tactics, that if you're good enough at it and you're knowledgeable enough at it, then, you'll really change your client's life with their credit. You know what I mean? So I guess to answer your question, it was really just the power. I think I see and think of consumer law and I'm like, wow, that's power. You know what I mean? And as soon as you dive in, it's like you can only go up. You know what I mean? You can only learn more and more and more. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I think it is. And the fact that it's very black and white, you know what I mean? Like you read a US code and then obviously depending on what it is. For example, like we're doing the auto debt discharge and things like that, or we both have credit restoration companies, etc. You know, when you understand you can dissect specific codes, it's like, wow, this is very black and white, meaning there's not really any room for error. It's like, this is what happens, this is what it is, this is how we, solve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, kind of going back to the credit part, like, there's so many different ways that you can dispute, like you were saying, with credit. But what we have noticed, like, that actually works the most is consumer law. And obviously Metro 2 as well. But consumer law is really just that, like, loop. What word am I trying to look for?
It's a loophole.
That loophole.
Yeah, it's like it's going to work. Like Metro is quick and it works, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like most people use, but consumer law is just like done and done. You know what I mean? Like they can't do anything about it.
Most people don't use Metro 2, believe it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, most people, they don't use it. I'm like, because like when we first started learning about it, we were searching, and it's not, I mean, there are obviously a lot of people, but if you look at people who do, the amount of people who can do credit or talk about credit, not a lot of people are using those Metro 2 type tactics, or even know consumer law.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I figured that was honestly, not to be naive, but I figured that a lot of people who have credit companies were using Metro. I only learned, of it, several months ago, this year, honestly, through a woman who has her own credit company somewhere in Texas, and we just connected over Instagram, and, I just kind of took a deep dive on how she runs her credit company, and that's where she taught me about it, connected me with her guy that taught her and whatnot. But that's kind of interesting to hear that not more people use it.
I think I know exactly
Yep.
who you're talking about.
I was just about to say, I think
Because
I know.
that's what happened with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Audi branding.
Yeah, I think I know it. Like,
Yeah.
it changes, man. Like it changes, but you'd be like, just like you would think people who do credit repair companies would know consumer law.
Not
You know,
everybody
like
Yeah, that's a very good point.
sometimes the assumptions, you would think, like whatever, you would think they did this, but not everybody does. And, like it is what it is, but which I like that it's rare. I like that not as many people use it, because then that just, what is the word I'm looking for now? That stretches you from the competition. It
separates
you. Yeah.
separates you from the competition, because a lot of people will be like, well, why should I go with you? Why should I go with you? What makes you better? And it's like,
Yeah. And especially when you have the results backing it too. Yeah, because then it's like, then that question is powerful, where it's like, well, what really separates you? What's your process? You tell them Metro 2, consumer law codes X, Y, and Z, but then they're like, well, wow, like that all sounds lit, but obviously it works because, I'm looking at your whole portfolio of client results.
yeah, that's the difference. I mean, we have like probably a year's worth of results from people in different types of and it's crazy because all in different types of systems.
Yeah.
Like we've done it in different types of systems, different styles, with consumer law, without consumer law, with Metro 2, without Metro 2. So it's like at the end of the day, credit repair works. Because it's not like we've only used one system. We've tried different things. I'm sure you have as well. Because we weren't doing Metro 2 the minute we started.
No.
And we weren't doing really consumer law like that. And it's like, the more you learn, when you have a year's worth of results and your highlight tab, when you need multiple highlight results tabs, like it's like, just get on there and just see, and look, if we tell you everything and you see all the results and you still don't want to do it because you're like skeptical, it's like, hey, I understand.
It is what it is at that point.
It's on you. I can't make like everyone like, yo, how do I trust you? Like I just don't. I see all your results. I just don't trust. I'm like, dude, I can't make you.
Yeah, I also don't care. Like
Yeah.
I don't care enough to convince people, and it's not. And like, don't get me twisted. It's like I do credit because the money in it is insane. Like the money in credit is freaking ridiculous. Like I've made the most money in my life since like starting credit and funding, and I'm so grateful for that. But you know, with all the clients that I know all of us have worked with, like it's given me that sense of fulfillment when I have situations like, you know, my homie, one of my homies here in Indy that's, you know, had a rough come up and is a young dad, etc. Being able to fix his credit just so he can go get a good, reliable car, like that's lit for me. You know what I mean? Or, you know, one of my clients who, you know, is a single mom of three in a small bedroom apartment that was able to get a house, you know, because her credit, like that brings that sense of fulfillment. But like for people that are just, questions are okay and they're welcome and they're warranted, but people who just like are so extra with the comments, you know, over and over, you know, well, how do I trust you? Da, 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 da. It's like, listen, look at the clients. I'll do a Zoom call with you. If you're in my city, we can meet in person. Like, I go the extra mile to make clients, potential clients, feel, you know, as confident and comfortable as possible. But there's definitely like, you know, that what's it called? Just like that line that you cross it, and I'm like, listen, I don't care anymore. You know, you can schedule the appointment, we can run it, and let's get busy. And it's just because like the amount of clients that we work with, you know, we have the numbers to back it. You know, so nobody can really, you know, say anything about results or, you know, how we take care of our clients, etc. Because it gets done, and it gets done every time. You know what I mean?
Well,
I was just gonna say, and the thing is too, is like, oh shoot, I just lost it.
I was gonna say, when you come from like network marketing, you don't have a line because everybody,
Yes.
you need them to join.
Yeah.
So like it took us, so especially me, because I would deal with anyone's crap as long as
me
you
too.
joined. Like as long as you joined my business and gave me volume on my weak leg to keep me getting this platinum 5,000 check on Monday, bro, you could just like do anything. It didn't matter.
Bro.
And then you do that for so many years, you get into your own business, you're on that same thing. And I remember one day I was dealing with this person, and I don't know what it was, but I just woke up and I was like, yo, don't text me anymore. Like, I will never fix your credit. Like, I will never fix your credit because it has been like, and I was doing, bro, this was back, I was doing a deal for them for like $250 because I felt bad for what they were going. They were like, yeah, I don't really, I'm like, it's $250. And I just literally texted, I was like, I will never fix your credit ever, like ever. Don't message me, find someone else. I can send you some references, and they'll probably say the same thing after they deal with you. I was like, I'm done.
I remember
Right.
what I was gonna say though is literally kind of like what you were saying, where you needed those people in network marketing. It's like with credit, the clients need the repair more
They need us.
than
Yeah, you need us.
getting paid. That's what people don't
Facts.
understand. They're thinking in their head like, oh, you just want the money, you just want me to pay you. And it's like with credit, it's the complete opposite. Like, you need me to fix your credit because you want the house, you want the car.
You messaged
Yeah.
me. I
Like,
didn't message you.
Right. Those are the worst people.
Yes.
Those are the worst people when they reach out first and then they try to get all confrontational. I'm like, bro, you scheduled this call, fam.
Like,
Hey, I think-
like those are the worst people. Like, cause I get it. If you message someone random on Instagram in a DM, I get they're gonna be a little. Cause I would be a little. But if I reach out to you, like in my eyes, if you're not ready to pull the trigger, don't ever reach out to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, just don't. Or unless you're like, hey, Sam, I'm interested in, you know, getting my car title. I just want to be straight up with you. I just want the info. I'm not going to have the money for 2 days. I just want to
Yeah.
get the info now.
Which I'll always respect.
You're straight up with me. You said 2 days. Let's give the info. But it's like, dude, I don't even like doing calls with people sometimes because I'm like, dude. Because it's like, yo, how does it work? It's like, dude, it's not going to take an hour Zoom call to explain how you get credit.
Yeah.
Like how I'm gonna fix your credit. And bro, people just, I like, dude, what we realized, like we've had a $5,000 course sale, right? That person was like, okay, where do I send it? Sent it, that's it.
Doesn't
When we've
bother
had like
us,
a
nothing.
$500 credit sale, and they're like, yeah, but they're bothering us every 5 cents. Not bothering us, but it's like, if I say, hey, Sam, we're fixing your credit, but it only updates once a month, like, and you
There's
message
nothing
me
else to
4
talk
times.
about.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
message me 4 times in the next 5 days, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be like, dude, the letters haven't even arrived.
Yeah.
Like, it's impossible. I don't know who told you that credit can get fixed in a week, but they were lying.
It
Those
doesn't.
are
They
the
were
people
lying.
that bother me so bad. Like the people that tell people like, "Oh, you can get your credit fixed in 7 days" and all this stuff, and it's like that just puts a thing in their head that oh, like anybody can do that, and it's like for one, it's actually illegal. Like the bureaus legally have 30 days to respond. So yeah, you may get lucky, get one little thing taken off in 7 days. But if you got like three collections, a bunch of missed payments, bunch of inquiries, your report is not getting
Yeah,
fixed in 7 days.
it's gonna
Like
take
that's
time. Yeah.
exactly.
And I feel like I mean I have multiple perspectives on everything that you guys just talked about. I think one the price point is why I've continued to, raise my price. Obviously tons of client results, so that's really what I was waiting for, which obviously I've been building since last July, last August, so almost a year now. And with the client results, it's like you pay the price and you're gonna pay the price because you know it works. You know what I'm saying? But I think that I've dealt, and this goes back to like the network marketing, how I had to break that habit of just going after, like being a straight on shark and doing anything possible. Don't let somebody leave the phone, just like that hardcore, like disgusting sales tactics. Like I hate it. You know what I mean? Like it's not me anymore. I don't do it. But anyways, dealing with the clients that I deal with now, when you're at that price point, when you start hitting that 4-figure mark, I feel like people are just naturally more serious and they're just ready to invest and they've already developed some type of mindset that business owners like us, like we desire out of a client. Like, here's the information. I will properly, diligently deliver you all the information, all the stats, all the client results, the track records, everything you need. Here you go, right? Answer all the questions you have, put the money on the table, and boom, we're done. You know what I mean? And like obviously business owners, that's what we all desire. That's our ideal client, you know what I mean? And it's not to say that I won't deal with a client that is very nitpicky, but like I said, there's a line, you know what I mean? I feel like for every business owner, you just have to know where your line is. Like for example, we have our express credit option, you know what I mean, for a more of a higher price. And this guy is already just a regular credit restoration client, you know what I mean? And so he's almost done. This guy came in, obviously not saying names, but just one of my clients came in. I think he had around 35 negative accounts overall across all 3 bureaus. So perspectively high, but at this point I feel like it's getting kind of standard. You know what I mean? Like people just like have that much, especially if they have a lot of inquiries, right? And so anyways, his score has gone up, and I was actually just checking on his profile because I knew I wanted to talk about him, this specific example before the pod, and his score has gone up roughly 100 points. He's in those high 600 range, coming from the 500s when he first got started. He's almost done with the repair, right? I think we have like 3 items left, and this dude has been hounding me for a month now, on and off, about when he can pay me $2,000 to express sweep his credit. And this guy just doesn't get it. I'm like, one, because here's the thing. Before I was all about it because when he started a month ago, like asking me about it, I think that his score probably wasn't at that 100 plus point level mark yet. And instead of 5 on his last round, we probably got off like 5 to 10 items. So maybe he had like 10, 15 items left. So I was like, okay, cool. You want these gone quick? Okay, we can do this. Here's all the info. But even then, you're still looking at like 90 days. Like you said, like no one's getting their credit fixed in a freaking month. You know what I mean? Even if it's one item, like it's gonna take like 90 days realistically. And so, anyways, I was entertaining it for a while. But here's what he would do. He was like, "What's the info?" Gave me the info a month ago. Okay, can I do it? This coming day? Yes. This time, boom, done. Hit him up. Ghost. Remember, he's already a client of mine. So like I'm sending him his PDF updates and your identity IQ, you need to pay for it so we can keep fixing your credit and whatnot. Like God.
Oh,
And then
let me go on about that.
so listen, it's been like 4 different times. The last one was yesterday, it was this morning actually. And I literally told him because he hit me up. He was like, "Sam, when can I pay you for the express credit?" And this is wild because he might see this and he'll know exactly who it is. What's up, bro? I'm talking about you, man. I love you though. Great client of mine. You know what I mean? But listen, he's like, yesterday evening, when can I pay you the $2K to speed up my credit? Do you do payments on that? We can start today, like I've been saying for a month now. Every day we can start. Adams Unlimited is open. We're open 7 days a week. The invoice is there for you. Pay it. It's in your email. In fact, I've sent it 3 times, okay? You want to do Zelle? We can do this too. So boom, okay, bet, let me Zelle. Great, here's my Zelle. Let me know when it's sent. We'll get the process started, get your form sent over, good, done and done. I'm replying immediately. Ghost, this morning, you do payments on the 2K. I already said no. It's 2,000. Let's get busy. But instead I said, hey, let's schedule a call. It seems like you're insanely busy because I won't hear from you for quite some time over the past month. We've been trying to get this started. Here's a link to my calendar. Pick what works best for you. That way we stop wasting time. You know what I mean? So my point in sharing that example is like going from where we were all at network marketing, where we wasted so much time, even though we would tell ourselves and everybody else, oh, we don't waste time. Let's get da-da-da. But in reality, when we would deal with those nitpicky clients or people who were showing obvious signs of not being serious about business, like we would still go after them. Whereas now the overall point of just looking at that situation is I have to check myself sometimes as well. Like I let that dude go on for so long when in reality it's like I can feel even more comfortable just stopping because he's already paid me for one of my services. Like he's already a client. Now he's just being ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, like yeah, like there's definitely been that degree of separation of how we operate with sales now and how we operate with client communication now versus what we were used to back in the day, which honestly has made me feel 10 times better about running a business that has to deal with people. You know what I mean? Like we're not operating some type of technology company or, straight product-based company. Like we're operating a service-based company and only people use services, which means we're a people-based company. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the way to go now is honestly those service-based businesses because we've done so much like training. I'm sure you have too. You've heard the same shit. Like if you can fix somebody's problem or pain, then you're never going to be out of business. It's these other businesses that are, I'm not hating on it. I love dancing. Like dancing is one of my favorite things, like pastime, but I don't need to dance to live, So when you have those service-based businesses that actually give people a solution, those are the businesses that are just going to be successful. I truly believe.
And I think the network, go back to like the network marketing thing. I wanted to hit ranks for the money, but I love the standing ovations. Like that's what I remember me and Sam
Notoriety.
in the middle of a hotel room. Like not even a hotel room. It was in a lobby. We were in the hotel lobby I think it was downtown Dallas.
Yeah, it was.
That's what I loved. I loved, the accelerator getting brought up there, and I loved that, and I feel like that's why, dude, you're 2 away from a rank. You'll message people that are talking bad about your family. You're like, hey man, I know you don't like me, but like, how about this? You just give it a try. Like, it doesn't matter because you're like, oh, I'm 2 away from the rank. I got to get it, before the fucking morning update. And then when you get into business, you're like, hold on, like, I don't, like, you don't want to do it, fine. Like, screw, like, fuck, like, F off, whatever. You can't.
Facts. Dude, the notoriety, oh wait, my bad. I think it cut out.
No, I heard you. No, yeah, I stopped.
Wait.
I was trying not to curse.
No, you're good. Bro, the notoriety really was everything. Like, the praise, and I remember I've talked about this before in network marketing because, like, I feel like it went from good and I just loved it to, like, unhealthy because, like, I got to a point where, like, I felt like I needed it because I would get into fights with, like, my uplines because I would feel, like, abandoned and shit because, like, I wasn't getting, like, shouted out for stuff. And I would, like, come up with, like, phenomenal ideas and systems and shit, and no one would give me credit. And then I would, like, go off on people. I'm like, yo, like, I would be like, I'm leaving, like, I'm done.
Dude, I'd be in the middle of so many of those things, man. The freaking the group chats and who's making another group chat because they don't want to be in this group
The
chat.
group chats was ridiculous. The group chats was because I kept everyone in Indy. I told my whole, hey, listen, we're staying in Indy this time. Nah, but like it became like unhealthy for sure. And I remember reflecting on it and being like, dude, like you can feel good and want notoriety for doing, good things like, celebration, but you can't get to a point where you feel like you need it. And like, I remember those times too, like, bro, the accelerator, the hotel room, bro. I remember at the convention when they had all the P5 stand up, and at the time in the company, there was like 10. And so like our whole section, it was just me and Dom just stood up and everyone turns around and just goes nuts. And like, that's a great feeling that I love. But it's not something that you like need to where it gets unhealthy. Cause like now, like no one celebrates me now. Like, cool, I'm about to crack $1 million in sales since I launched Atoms Unlimited. I don't expect anything. Like no one's gonna celebrate that. You know what I mean? And I got to a point where like I'm content with that. And now, so when it does come, when any type of celebration or notoriety does come, it's 10x the feeling that I ever got in network marketing with all the yelling and the praising and all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
That's just the growth of a business owner.
Yeah.
Because we've all been there. Like, I mean, I was only a P6 and I am, but like, I just remember like hitting P6. I was like, yo, like, I was like one of the only P6s in AZ. So
Facts.
it was pretty like lit feeling. But now, like, I've told him so many times, like, I do all of the back end stuff for our business. I do not want to be in the spotlight. Like, I make him do it. I don't want to do it. I like
Right.
back end stuff. Like, I could care less if my name is out there. Like, if it was up to me, he would just be doing the podcast. But
Yeah.
I
I think that's another big thing is like not caring anymore. It's like ever since I had those traits about myself, back in network marketing, and just if that feels like a lifetime ago, it really does. Like, dude, like Dom, like me and you flying out to Dallas, like in the hotel, like just like to, that feels like a lifetime ago. But, I look back to, kind of where I was and the things I wanted, and I truly didn't know what I wanted back then. I just wanted to be rich, you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to have an abundance of money and not have to worry about things. And, I still want those things, but like now we're at a completely different level. We made so much more money, seen so much more success and fulfillment where it's like, I think it was being surrounded by so many people, especially in that type of leadership position where it's like, it can get toxic, you know what I mean? It can get very toxic, and now, I'm around tops like 5 people at a time, 5-6 people at a time, and they're people who I consider family, whether it's my real family or just my best friends and business partners that I consider family, you know what I mean? And because that, it's like, no, like I don't care about the praise, I don't care about the celebration, because like I'll sit here 24 years old, Indianapolis, and I'll grind, and I'll just grind 7 days a week, and I'll have a healthy schedule, work out every day, eat clean food, read a book, do my personal development, stay up connected with you guys, with anything you guys help me with my companies, and it's just like, that's it. And like, that's like fulfillment because I know what I want in the future. And like the future, to be honest, it no longer involves like, being a huge global influencer. You know what I mean? It's like, I still want to help a lot of people. I still am helping a lot of people. If I get invited to speak, at an event, then odds are I'm going to take it because that's something I still love. And podcasts, I love doing stuff like this, but it's no longer about everybody knowing who I am and what I've been able to accomplish. Like that doesn't serve any type of, want or desire in my life anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And it's funny because like we've made more money in this than we did in network marketing. But if you look at our network marketing selves, we'd probably like talk crap about what we do now. Like you went to the gym, you took a day, you're relaxing. What's that space? What are you doing? Sleeping? Like you don't even grind, man. You don't deserve it. You're broke. Like
this is so true.
Like I liked going to the conventions, and I liked the connections and being around people. But sometimes I look back, especially when I be scrolling through like my camera roll, and I see like a post that I made on IG, and I'm like, well, that's just disrespectful to people. I've seen some people like that. If you were not in the company, we were going at everybody. You, your
Yeah.
family, your losers, all of this. Like,
Yeah.
we were just for no reason, man.
Dude,
And now
like,
it's,
no reason.
I'm like, I would never post that.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way. Drunk, I could be destroyed. I'm not posting that.
I
Like,
would never. I would still not post the stuff that we would back in the day. I remember talking to people who like would be a potential sign up, and if they said no, better yet, if they hesitated and were like, "I need some time," why would you need time? Do you not want to get rich? Like, what are you gonna go do? Like, what do you need time for? You better go clock in at your job. How about you just stay at your job then? Talk to me when you're serious. Click. Like, I can't believe I talked to people like that 3 years ago.
like it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, dude, like,
This is why I say like network marketing is great to start out, but if you really want to make it in the business world, that mindset is just not it. Like it's
Yeah.
to start, but you gotta grow out of it, especially with like the way the world is now. Like this may be like controversial, but it's soft. The world is soft now.
It's soft. It is.
You can't say certain things, so growing as a person helps along with the business as well.
Yeah. No, and that's actually a good point, 'cause it's like you also have to look at the audience and the market we had versus what we have now. I mean, before, it was fine. We were doing that because we were only selling to kids, like people that were 18, 19, 20 years old, right? And so we got away with a lot of BS, because like we could talk shit to 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds because we were 18, 19, 20, but prospectively they're like taking it because these guys make more money than they're making, and they're seeing they're living a life, you know what I mean? Which makes sense, but it's like now looking at my type of clientele, I don't do a lot of business, and I don't have a lot of clients that are 18, 19, 20. I mean, on average, my youngest client is maybe 22 or 23. And there's a few guys in the mix, usually not with credit because they've barely had time to destroy it. But trust me, some of them have. And they're all I have clients that are like 19. I'm like, dude, you've had your credit for 1 year. Like, what could you have possibly done? But most of my clients, especially with trading software and passive income, and obviously, like I said, me and my dad work together with life insurance. It's like, I have one of the presidents of Finish Line calling me, that runs the whole Macy's department. I can't, as a business owner, as a CEO, I can't communicate with somebody at that stature if I was still acting the way I was in network marketing. You know what I mean? Or like going back to what you were just saying, Teal, if I hadn't done all the growth, all the self-development, and, knocked off all the BS of the way I was, for the past couple years, you know what I mean? Because you just have to change. You have to change. You have to develop, because if you can start dealing with people like that, you'll start attracting that higher stature of person if that's who you become. You know what I mean? And so I think I know that was a big wake-up call. Nothing necessarily happened. It's just, again, it was all about knowing the possibilities of the people I could be doing business with, but knowing, okay, if I want to do, business regularly with people who are, their net worths are millions of dollars, then, okay, I don't have to have millions of dollars, but I need to be able to operate as if I'm the person who's worthy of millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? And that was one of the biggest blessings, in my life, because that's a big thing that's gotten me where I'm at right now with my business, is operating at that higher level to attract people at that higher level,
That's what I feel like a lot of people are missing when it comes to like opening up a online business, like not network marketing, like an actual business, is like how you operate is really what you're going to attract. And that may sound cliche, but it's like the realest thing that you can like experience, because I mean, as soon as I started growing in business as well, coming from network marketing to real business, I started realizing a lot more people started taking me serious. A lot more professional people want to do business with me. Like, there's people that I work with now, or like have a client as, that wouldn't even talk to me in network marketing. Like, they were like, you're a scammer and blah, 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 all this things. And now it's like they're either a business partner or a client, and they trust me specifically because of my growth. So it's like, it's just crazy how, like, yeah, I don't even know, just crazy. It still blows my mind.
And also, when you get into the business world, you have to learn to do business because someone might want to be a client of yours, but they make more than you.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like that was why MLM usually goes, usually targets people who are there because it's hard to target someone who's making, like they're making $12K a month, and you're over here talking about, hitting like a rank that pays you like $2,000 a month. They're gonna be like, wow, okay. I'm not saying they wouldn't do it, but you kind of have to. If they say no, you can't say nothing because they're probably making more than you. So like you can't really say anything. In the business world, you might deal with people who are making more money than you. And it's like, all right, well, why should I give you my money? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to evolve into that different type of person. You can't just sit there and be like, like if you only do business with people you make more money than, then you're not really ever going to get, you're never going to get to that next, that next level. Because it's easy to do business with people you make more money with because they look up to you. They want to make your money, but
yeah, the trust is usually already there.
Yeah, they're admiring you. But someone like, you could ask someone who's making 6 figures, all right, go close someone making 8. Like that's business. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they are not gonna want to see, like, you're not gonna talk to them like that.
Facts.
You're not, call me when you're serious. They're like, well, we're not calling you now. Like, you can't say that type of stuff. You have to, hold yourself, presentable.
Facts. Yeah.
Well,
agreed.
this podcast definitely was more conversational instead of just questions. But there is one last question I do want to ask before we end it.
Yeah, we end this with kind of like everyone. You want to ask it?
Yeah. So, what is one piece of advice that you would want to give to the newest entrepreneur starting their journey?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest piece of advice is don't have an ego. No matter what industry you're in, don't feel like you have to attack your company by yourself because odds are you're going to end up as one of the statistics of people who fail within their first, few years when running a business. You know what I mean? Like, go out there, find somebody who is considered an expert in the field, and don't think that that's some hard task because no matter what industry you're in, there's plenty of experts in the field. And out of those experts, there's plenty of them who are willing to coach and mentor. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the best and like that's the number one piece of advice that anyone who wants to be a business owner or step into entrepreneurship, like they need to hear that. And when you finally find that person, like I said, don't have an ego. Sit down, shut up, listen to everything they have to say and apply it, because as long as there's somebody who they say they are and they have at least at the bare minimum they have the results that you want, then that you can be confident and comfortable enough to take what they have and apply it. You know what I mean? I've done that, and I say that not as some regular shit that viewers have probably heard before, but like I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because every single piece of business I've been in, every industry, I've done it and it works. It works to any extent you want it to, and then when it runs out, when you have essentially taken all the time and the energy from that one mentor, go find somebody better and then go exhaust them and just do that on repeat till you have the level of success that you want.
Agreed 100%. I feel like if you don't have a mentor in business or like your journey of entrepreneurship, you're not going to go far. And if you do go far, it's going to take you years and years and years. It's like, if you want to cut the learning curve, you have to find a mentor. Copy what they did, cut it in half, and just run. Like. And
also, the minute you think you know something, you don't.
You don't.
Because you always get you get that one thing, you're like, oh, I got it now. No, you don't.
Nope.
Because
a million other things.
Yeah, we've all been there to a point where we're like, man, I know more than this guy. Like, if I was in his position, I'd be doing it better. I'd be doing this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it's like, it hurts. It hurts people. And it's like, I always say, ego, it hurts the bank more than anything else. Like, it hurts the bank, man. It's like, hey, you could be right or you could be rich. And I'm not saying you have to be wrong to be rich, but you can't be right all the time.
Yeah, just take the easier path. Like I said, sit down, shut up. Once you find that mentor, do what they say. Especially, I'll kind of end my point with this, especially to the guys out there. like learn how to submit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something that, you know, we're ever taught to do or we want to do. And then obviously, you know, people who do, you're shamed for it depending on what you're doing. But in the business world with a mentor, you know, especially guys, but everybody, you got to learn how to submit to somebody. Again, as long as it's the person that you've chosen, they've chosen you, they have results that you want, they have, you know, they have everything that you want, you know, in that industry, they're an expert in their field, then learn to sit down, shut up, submit to them, and then over time, you're going to bear the fruits. Period, point blank.
Mentor appears when the mentee is ready. I always love it. Like, that is just key.
And yeah, last thing, mentors don't wait around for you. If
No.
you don't want to do it, they're gone. Like they're not gonna. Mentors don't beg you to listen because they don't care because they're busy listening to their mentor.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so many things that can be changed. But Sam, I appreciate you, man. Hopping on here, give a little this.
For
Right here for
Instagram.
Instagram, your little Instagram.
Yeah. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Sam Adams. Yeah, Sam Adams.
There you go.
ADAMS. And yeah, shoot me a message. Click the link in my bio so we can connect. And I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Yeah, of course, man.
Absolutely.
Obviously, guys, we're going to be doing more of these. We're going to have, more guests coming on here as well. Like I said, they drop every Thursday at 3:15 p.m. And like I said, Sam, I appreciate you getting on here, dropping some value. Like you always got stuff to say, always got value to give. I appreciate you telling some stuff about your journey and all of that. And anything else you want to say?
Nothing else. I will see y'all next week.
All right.